Hi, welcome to PHP tutorial. This is a list of suggestions how you can use this video. The notes for this video can be found here at this URL, which is loaded here. Okay, we are obviously doing Ajax example 003, and I stopped at the last video, so we are going to carry on. So we just created eg003 time.php, and that file is in C10 myPHP Ajax examples. Okay, the next one is we are going to create a file called eg003.htm, and realize that it's an HTML file, not a PHP file, because there's actually no PHP file here, no PHP inside that file. So of course I'm not going to copy everything from scratch. I'm not going to write everything from scratch. I'm going to copy from one of my older examples. So I'm going to copy from C drive, temp, myPHP, eg001 basic. Let's just copy that. eg001 basic, and come over here and paste here, and rename that to eg003. eg003 dot htm. Alright, let me close this. I don't need that file anymore. So I'm going to open this new file that we copied, eg003.htm. Okay, so, and it seems like I have a couple other things I don't need. Let me close this. Alright, so I'm going to update the file. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to change the title. Okay, and I don't need head, I don't need PHP in the head, I don't need PHP in the body. Alright, so I'm ready to go. And the first thing I want to do is change the heading to Ajax examples. Okay, and let's see what I have. So I have this very simple and ugly file, eg003.html, Ajax examples, so we are ready to go. Before I move on, probably I should validate this file. So I'm just going to w3c validator HTML. Validate by, you can validate by upload or validate by direct input. Let me just try direct input, because since I've been doing direct input for all the PHP files, so look at this file, view page source, select everything, Ctrl C to copy, come over here, Ctrl V to paste. You should have no error message. Yay, no error, no warning, very good. We wish we can keep this forever. Okay, so let's keep this here, I may need it later. And let's close this. Let's look at it here. So we are going to do what the example does. So this example, we have something like this: how to use Ajax using an on-key press event. Okay, so let's create a display first. So here we are going to create a form. Actually, we do not need a form, but we can use a form. So let's just call this form my form, case sensitive, I think. And then we are going to say I'm going to do Ajax using on-key press event. Okay, and then I'm going to say what is the time, what is the name, what I want to input. Okay, I want to say, hey, this is my input, which is a really not very smart example, and then I'm going to show you the time. You input something, I'm going to show you the time. Okay, just a simple example. So let me come here and reload. This is what we have, and then at input, I'm going to put text box. Text box name equal to something, and then time, I'm going to copy this, input text box, name is equal to, okay, the name here is going to be, let's call this username. Okay, I don't know why we do that, but let's do that. Let's call this username. Maybe because you want user to key in the name. And then here, the name is time. Okay. So the name will be used to identify the text box. So let's see what I have. I have two text box here. So you want the user to key in something like John, and at the time will keep changing when the user input. Okay. Just some simple example about how to change a form element using Ajax. And we are going to use, obviously when you type something, you use the onKeyPress event. So that's a JavaScript event or a HTML event called JavaScript onKeyPress. And we're going to create a JavaScript function. Okay? onKeyPress, we're going to call JavaScript function. And to do that, we are going to create a JavaScript function. You can create a JavaScript function in the head or in the body. Let's just put it in the head. It really doesn't matter. So we are going to create a JavaScript. Actually, I think this one doesn't really matter anymore. And we're going to create a function. I'm going to create time. I'm going to call it time function. Okay, and obviously this is a JavaScript function, and I'm just going to do a alert, say hello, just to prove that the function works. And I'm going to call the function from the onKeyPress here. Control S to save, Control C to copy, Control S to save, reload. So every time you type something like John, you'll see hello. Okay, not very useful thing, but just to prove that the JavaScript function is being called here onKeyPress. Okay, let's comment this guy out. And the next thing is going to do is we are going to create a XML HTTP object. Okay, so we create a variable called ajax request. JavaScript is case sensitive, so be careful. And then we say our ajax request is equal to new. Okay, so be very careful here. So because it's case sensitive, so ajax request equal to new XML uppercase H uppercase request. Okay, so we created that. All right, now we are going to call the time function. Okay, the sequence is a bit interesting, so just bear with me. Oh, before that, let's test something. Okay, let's say instead of doing hello here, I'm going to put a hello at time here. Okay, to do that, you need to do something like a document dot myForm. I hope you still remember JavaScript. So document myForm, go down to time, text box, go down to value. Okay, let's try that. Control S to save, reload. Now, when you type something, hello appears there. Okay, so you know that this thing works. All right, we don't need that right now, so let's comment this guy out just to prove that that works. So the next thing we want to do is let's do ajax. So okay, when the ajax state change, all right, I probably need to explain this a little bit. Let me see. No, sorry. W3 schools, if I remember correctly, they have some stuff that's some pretty good explanations. All right, so XML HTTP requires properties, right? On ready state change is a property. Is this used to define a function? So I'm going to create a function here, and when the ready state property changes, and one of the ready state property is for, means that wherever you call later, when the request finish, a response is ready, we are going to do something. Okay, and there's some status here. We're going to talk about it later. So function equal to if the ready state is equal to 4, double equal, or else it's a sign. If it's equal to 4, I say that this thing is equal to not hello, of course. I don't need this anymore technically, but just leave it there. Obviously, it's not hello, is response text. So if you send the response back using that using text, you get a response text. But what did we send? We haven't sent yet. Okay, so now we are going to send by open. Okay, open what? All right, there are two methods, get or post method, when is used when you need to pass information to the second file. So I'm just going to say I'm going to use get method. I'm going to send the information. I'm going to send nothing to eg003. I'm just going to call the function, call the file eg003 time.php, but I'm not sending anything over, although I'm using the get method to send things, and as asynchronous is true. Okay, that means that you wait for the thing to finish. All right, and then we send. Send nothing. All right, so what happened here is we call this file. Okay, send nothing over and get the output back, and then the output, wherever you get back, when the ajax get back the output, is going to update this. Okay, so save your work. Come over here, reload. So now if you type John J, you see the time changes. So what happened every time you type something? So let's say you type H. What happened is they're going to run this file. Obviously, when you run this file, you're going to get the time, right? So you get the time, and Ajax is going to send it back, and that is going to, the time is going to appear in the response text, and then being assigned here when the thing is ready to receive. Okay, all right. So you're like, hey, all is good, right? This is simple, easy to do, but no, not so much, because we have different kind of browsers, okay? And there's a browser called Internet Explorer, and a lot of people are still using, and this XML HTTP request does not work well with that browser. Okay, if you want to read this history, they talk a little bit about that. Older versions of IE 5 and 6, they define it differently, and sorry. So on and so forth. All right, and then there's a newer version of IE also behave differently. Okay, so if you just do this and your boss use Internet Explorer, which they may, all right, and then your file won't work in front of them, that's not very good. So we need to capture that kind of exceptions, and to do that, we just wrap this around in our famous JavaScript try catch statement. Okay. All right, so if all the other browsers works, great. But what if your boss use Internet Explorer? Then you try to catch it by do ajax using, okay, this is really old. Okay, this is like super old. All right, I'm not even going to go that year. I'm going to use something slightly newer. Case sensitive. All right, so this is what you put in. Okay, obviously I cannot test this because I do not have an Internet Explorer browser, obviously. Okay, so I just hope that it works. And if you want to be serious about this, you probably should find Internet Explorer browser to try this. But that's not the end of the story. This one only catch the earlier version. If you use Internet Explorer 5 or 6, they do something slightly different. Okay. Of course, you'll be like, who will use Internet Explorer 5 and 6? They normally appear at the most unexpected place, like your boss office. Okay, so probably you should take care of that as well. So let's try that. So we need another try catch statement. Yeah, fantastic. So let's try to catch that as well. So we'll try to catch this guy. Okay, so if we get the IE, great. If we don't get the IE, we have a really old version of IE. So you have to do this. Okay, of course, again, I cannot test that. I would not have Internet Explorer 6 on my machine. Okay, that is crazy. All right, so I cannot test that, but yeah, just good luck. Okay, but what if all this doesn't work? What if somebody develop a new web browser to decide to run that on their machine and none of this works? Okay, let's try to catch that as well. And obviously at this moment it's like, how many try-catch statement am I going to write? Promise this is the last one. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. So you'll be like, yeah, something's wrong. And I'm running out of patience. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So you write something to scare your user. Very unprofessionally, you say your browser broke. And your user will be like, yeah, no way. Okay, and then you say, I'm done. Return false, I'm getting out of here. Okay, so of course my browser works, so I'm not going to test that, right? So it's kind of ironic that one simple statement becomes 3 nested try-catch statements just to catch all the browser problems people may encounter. Okay, all right. In my example, actually, I show another example of how to use on change event. That is pretty much the same. I'm not going to do that. So this is a good example about how to use Ajax, right? You want to change something here. You do not want to load the whole page, so you use JavaScript, which JavaScript can be used to change a particular place without reloading the page. But JavaScript may not be able to do some of the things you want to do, and you have to use a PHP. So you just call the PHP, send some information over, and then get some information back, and use Ajax to update. Okay, so that's what we did. I think that's a good place to stop for example 003. In the next example, I think we are going to get something from the database. That will be more interesting. Yeah. Oh, we cannot finish yet. We need to validate, of course. So you come over here, view page source, right click view page source, copy everything, go to your validator, look at direct input, Control V to paste, check, finger crossed. Oops, something is going wrong. All right, great. Okay, seems like my JavaScript is too old. You give me a warning like type attribute is not necessary anymore. Thank you. So we can take out the type attribute. Once upon a time, you have to specify that your script is JavaScript because there are other scripts that can run on the page. Now you don't need that anymore. Oops, that's why you need to validate. Okay, let me get rid of that. Oops, let's try that again. Right click view source, Control C to copy, go to W3C, HTML validator, validate by direct input, Control V to paste, check. Yep, we are good now. Okay, so remember, do not put JavaScript anymore under script. Okay, that's a very good place to stop. Thanks for watching. Let me close this, and we'll be back soon. See you later. Bye.